Hey! So I sent out a call for questions on Iwata. Well, not just questions on Iwata, on gamer questions in honor of Iwata, because um, it's really sad because it's one of those things where he dies. Someone dies, and it's only then that you realize how much of an impact that they've had on your lives. I had no idea that he was behind some of the most quintessential Nintendo games. I didn't know that he was around for so long, and he had a very profound influence on who I am, even though I never realized who he was, and there's just something. Oh, sorry. There's just something very bittersweet about how this feels. So, I think that the best way to pay respects to him is to play a video game, ideally one of his, but it doesn't have to be. I think what he represented was holding on to that childlike wonderment that a lot of people lose and that a lot of people think is superfluous and unnecessary after you reach a certain age, and I couldn't disagree with that more. Okay, let's get to questions. Oh, also, I also wanted to say hi to my new subscribers because I put out a video with Jenny from Geekasm because we're friends in real life, and I got an influx of new subscribers, and so I wanted to welcome you and let you know that a lot of the questions that I ask there, a lot of the Q&A, all the Q&A prompts that I have are on Instagram, but you can feel free to ask me questions on this channel as well, and yeah, so let's get started with the questions. Mikey97 Gatchell asks, what is your favorite video game? And do you like the Resident Evil games or Mortal Kombat games? I remember playing the first Mortal Kombat, actually, and I think it was a little bit too graphic for when I was younger, so I don't think I ever managed to get into it. I'm more of a Soul Calibur kind of person, and I don't know. I'm not entirely sure why. I think it's just the aesthetic and the fact that like I love how just naturally diverse Soul Calibur is because it involves people from every walk of life. Even if it is fictional, like all of their characters and their backgrounds are based off of real places. Resident Evil games. I never got into the Resident Evil games, but I know that they're like it's a very iconic series, and it's just that it's very difficult for me to get into anything horror based. I have played horror games before, but it's really hard for me to get into them because I like going to sleep at night. My favorite video game. Oh, that's such a really hard question because I like different games for different reasons. Like, there's really no perfect 10 out there for me. But if I had to give it, if you were forcing me to give one, I would say Tales of Symphonia. Tales of Symphonia was an amazing game. It had everything I wanted out of it. It had a great storyline. And yes, the storyline was similar to Final Fantasy X, but I think it actually did it better. It had a lot more darkness to it than FFX. The characters were amazing. Like, it was one of the first games where I was so intrigued by it because it was like, oh wow, this is like playing an anime, playing like a really epic and substantial, intelligent anime. And yeah. And plus, like, all the characters were great. Most of the voice acting was pretty on point. Sorry, I was answering something important. Let's see. Sorry, I'm talking to people on Facebook right now. What is your favorite? Yeah, so, Tales of Symphonia is an amazing game. I still think it holds up pretty well because it's all cel-shaded, so, I mean, it shows its ages in some place, but honestly, like, I can say with confidence that I would love to just go back and play it, like, right now. I would not mind doing that. Some of my other favorite games are Kingdom Hearts, just because it's a very well done game where you get to interact with your favorite Disney characters. Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2 are amazing, just stylistically such breathtaking games. Dragon Age was great. Mass Effect was great. Final Fantasy X was great. I definitely know that there are others out there. I love Bastion. There were other indie games, right? Like To the Moon was a great game. Gone Home was a great game. Yeah. There's just so many games that are my favorite. tipsyterror asked, how did you feel about The Last of Us? I can see that we're already at the 6-minute mark. I'm sorry that this video is going to be long because I actually got a lot of questions, and I wasn't expecting that. How do you feel about The Last of Us? I think The Last of Us is a work of art. It wasn't my favorite game of the year. I would have given that to BioShock Infinite just because I'm very much into anything about religion and stuff like that. With Last of Us, I mean, it did the best job of doing a zombie game. Like, I'm definitely not disagreeing with that. It's just, I don't know, like, I totally get why everybody's giving it, like, a perfect score, like, across the board perfect score, but it's just that I guess it's not my bag. What was your first Nintendo console handheld? And what was your first game for both? My first Nintendo console and handheld was a Game Boy Color. And I'm pretty sure the first game that I actually owned was Pokemon Blue, and I was super excited about it. Pokemon the Pokemon games are obviously amazing. They really didn't do much to change it in the last few years, and the Pokemon Color is a great console, and yeah. My first console would probably be, like, my first, like, non-handheld would be, I'm pretty sure it was a Nintendo 64. Or maybe it was a PlayStation. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it was a PlayStation. I just don't remember what was the first game that I played on the PlayStation. Oh, I think it was Crash Bandicoot. I played Crash Bandicoot, and it was a very challenging, like, almost, like, Dark Soul level challenging game for me. At least, yeah, no, like, I could tell that it was a very difficult game. It was you were meant to die many times. That's why I meant that it's like Dark Souls. Yeah. I have very fond memories of both. Which game do you think is more artistic, PacMan or The Last of Us? I mean, I can't be an authority on art, and so, like, I think it could honestly be argued either way. Because a game has less intricate graphics doesn't mean that it's any less of a work of art. Like, it's very much possible to extract meaning out of both of them. It's just that Last of Us clearly asks you to extract meaning out of it. And plus we would have to go into the definition of what is art. Like, for me, it's basically just a game that takes you through an experience that you wouldn't normally have, and that it evokes something from you that you might not even be conscious of. And so, I mean, like I said before, Last of Us, it asks you to extract meaning from it because all of the themes and meanings are so clear. Because there's dialogue, there's acting, there's there's, you know, art direction, there's game design, there's like a lot more game design to it. But that doesn't discredit PacMan for being a work of art too. Like it's a highly influential game, and you know, it's very well known throughout pop culture, and so I think that says something about it as well, about what it is. That the fact that it reaches so many people, that also has some sort of implication, I think. Whether or not it's art, I'm not sure, but I would say it is. That was a really good question. I like talking about the relationship between video games and art, so thanks, Eric says. Oh, sorry, tipsyterror asked that question, and then thekurtquitlong asked the Nintendo handheld question. Sorry, I'm really bad at this. fakesenpxi asks, do you have any favorite theories that are based on your favorite game? I'm not entirely sure what that means. If you could clarify it in the comments or on your Instagram, that'd be great. Like, are you talking about, like, theories, like, based off of video games? Do you have any favorite theories that are based on your favorite game? You mean on, like, what happens in the game? Because for the most part, all of my games, all the games that I play have ended, like, they have one ending to them. Maybe you don't mean that. Maybe you mean like maybe an idea or something that comes from a game, and if I'm thinking along those lines, then I would definitely say, you know, BioShock Infinite and Tales of Symphonia would come to mind, because BioShock Infinite obviously has so many wonderful, like, new fresh ideas. Maybe not fresh, maybe I'm just uncultured, but to me they're fresh ideas on, you know, our place in this world, the idea of multiple universes, and the idea of what religion is to humans. With Tales of Symphonia, you know, ideas about, you know, again, what is religion, and yeah. Did I answer your question? Because if I didn't, please let me know. minahal.a asks, what video games do you play on a daily basis? So right now I'm still playing Bayonetta. I still play Bayonetta on a pretty regular basis just because it's such a fun game to play. It's a very therapeutic game, I would say. What other games have I been playing? I haven't been playing a lot of games. I have been playing Divinity Original Sin, just because I've heard so much about how great it is, and it is really great. It definitely lives up to his expectations. It was a lot to get used to because I'm not me being the uncultured swine I am. I'm not used to playing Baldur's Gate style video games, you know, classic RPG style video games, and so yeah. What video games did you play on? Yeah. So those are the video games that I play right now. I wish it was more, but unfortunately I don't have time for more. What was the first game? Oh, caramelpopcorrn asks, what was the first game you ever played? I don't remember. I guess it was Pokemon Blue. I think it was Pokemon Blue. I might be completely wrong. It might have been a game on my PlayStation, but I'm gonna say it was Pokemon Blue. Adventure_Alex says, "Are you excited as I am for Dishonored 2?" I want to say that I'm as excited as you are, but I'm very. It's my mentality is like, oh, I want it to do really well, but I'm not like jazzed about it because I don't know if it's gonna do well. Because, Alex, if you have seen like you should go back and you should look back through my channel and look at my Dishonored discussion, because I iterated that the mechanics were so well done, very sharp and very on point, but the story fell so flat. It was so predictable, and just how everything else was so well crafted and made. I feel like they should have put so much more work into the story, because basically the entire game was acting as if the story was really good and poignant, but it wasn't. It was pretty ho-hum. It was actually pretty simple. Like, oh, like there's a twist, there's a betrayal. Of course there is. But honestly, for me personally, I do think that the story will be a lot more interesting with Emily as an assassin, because like it's actually a very dark thing, to see her as an assassin, right? Because Corvo spent his entire life trying to help her, and like Emily is still basically following his same path of putting herself in danger and having to commit all of these acts of blood. I think that in itself is a very interesting premise, and so I have very high, like, I want it to do well, but I'm hesitant to give it high hopes. Writtenbyanna asks, oh, sorry. Written by Anna. Sorry. I went to college. What games would you recommend for a first-time gamer? I think that I wish I could turn this into a show. Like I want people that like want to try to get into gaming, and I want to just like talk to them and just like see what kind of game that they would gravitate towards, because it really depends on the person, right? Like if you're into like animals and like you have like a very like collector's mindset, then I would obviously recommend to you like Digimon or Pokemon. But if you're more like a story person, like you like really good writing and acting and like you're into films and stuff, then I would recommend to you games that have like really great great cutscenes, great writing, like an amazing story, which is what I'm into. And like if you're an artist, then like I can like try to research like really avant-garde and like really weird games. So I guess honestly it all depends. I think most gamers will consider this a very small step toward like a very tiny minimal step towards being a gamer. Some people might even consider it not a step being towards being a gamer. But I would say Gone Home, just because it has game elements to it, but it makes the focus the story, and so you don't have to know a lot about like you will learn the basic mechanics of playing at least a PC game, but you'll still have like an amazing experience, and I think that will really, I think it will help a first time gamer, because it will show them like how powerful games can be. Because that's why I still game. It's because I'm consistently searching for experiences that will change me and impact me in some way. Let's see. Sorry, someone just... What's Wabi Sabi 218 asks, that's a great name. Are you more excited or apprehensive about the FF7 remake? they said that they were planning on polishing it, and so I think that's a really good thing because I think this is a great opportunity for people that are kind of like that kind of got into gaming like a little bit too late, and so like, you know, if they're like, if you started off playing, you know, like I don't know, like a Nintendo 64, and like you're playing Final Fantasy VII, like, you're not going to like it because Final Fantasy VII's graphics are really bad. Like, really bad. Like, they don't hold up, like, at all. In comparison like, so I think it'll be a great opportunity for younger gamers or just people that could never get into it, because they're around my age, to get into FF7, because FF7 is such a huge part of gamer culture that I think it's such an important thing to experience in some way, shape, or form, and plus, like, I think it will make the game accessible. Like, I'm hoping what they're gonna do is that they're gonna make the storyline accessible without dumbing it down, because I've heard that they're going to be like redoing stuff, you know, to make it easier, you know, obviously, because, you know, game design has progressed so much, so it'll be a lot more user friendly, it'll be a lot easier to learn, and the storyline will be easier to follow, because from what I understand, there are a lot of plot holes to the game, and so, like, they're just gonna, you know, tighten the script a little bit, and as long as they don't change anything crucial about it, I think that this is a very good thing, because plus, you know, it's not just an HD it's not an HD remake like you know, like KH 1.5. It's a substantial, like, we're gonna do everything from the ground up, because obviously they can't I don't see them reusing any assets from such an old ass game. So I'm definitely very excited to play it. Sona.k_ asks, what are your favorite PC games? Gone Home, Bastion, To the Moon. What other games are there? Let me look on my Steam, ladies and gentlemen. Portal and Portal 2 are obviously amazing. I think that's a given. Sorry, need to look up my Steam. Oh, can't connect to the network. That's fine. Oh, the Walking Dead game. The Walking Dead games are so fun. The Blackwell Chronicles are really good. Hold on. I got on. I'm just looking up because I want to give you a good answer. Oh, BioShock Infinite. BioShock was amazing. Borderlands 2 is great. Oh, Dust and Elysian Tale. I completely forgot about that game. That game was so good. It was such a good game. Hotline Miami was amazing. Saints Row 3 was really good. Oh, Star Wars: The Knights of the Old Republic. I almost forgot about that game. That game was so good, and I played that like only 1 or 2 years ago, and it held up, and it really holds up. It holds up really well, as long as you add, you know, some good mods to it. Dragon Age Inquisition is an easy given. Mass Effect is an easy given. Yeah. That was a long list. I'm sorry. Thoughts on the video game Portal? It's a work of art. It's such an iconic game. I would definitely like. there's just so much subtlety. There's just so much subtlety to a game like that I don't think you can find in a lot of games, and and I've never seen a game so artfully mesh together puzzle and story together, because yeah, like I think just because of like how everything is designed, it just feels so immersive, and like it gives you like a real sense of urgency when you are trying to solve the puzzles, because you know something is wrong, but at the same time, like, there's no timer, and so like it gives you like all the time in the world to figure out the puzzles, and it makes you feel really smart, and yeah, it just weaves everything in so well. Yeah. How do you think video games have affected you as a whole? Oh, sorry. Fear Geek Logan asked about the Portal game. totakaykay asks, how do you think video games have affected you as a whole? Oh, they affected me so much. I'd probably, if I didn't know that video games were a thing, I'd probably be able to be a little bit more social and a little bit more articulate. But at the same time, I don't know about anybody out there that is a gamer, but I feel, in a way, it makes you feel very worldly, if that makes sense, because you have all of these amazingly crafted stories and all of these amazing things that you don't just watch, you interact with it, and you interact with it, and it interacts with you. Like it influences you, and you influence it. And I think there's something so beautiful about that kind of exchange that you can't get with any other type of media. And so it's like it's like you've seen some things, you know? It's like you've experienced so many, even though they're fictional, you've still experienced a lot of cultures and a lot of different ways of thinking, and you've had to deal with these different ways of thinking, and I think it teaches you to be a more empathetic person, and it gives you such a because all of these experiences, they all kind of tie back, or like they're reflective of the real world in some point. It actually makes you a more educated and worldly kind of person. I think, like, not worldly in like, you've been to Bali and Thailand before, but more worldly in like you're a more understanding person, and like if I have to have if my main enemy in a video game is somebody that I didn't want to fight because of differing ideas, and the game is able to convey to me that it's a very sad thing that that our ideas don't meet, like in Tales of Symphonia, then it makes me, in the real world, not want to get into a fight with somebody, because it's very possible that they're just from a very different background, like that's like just a small example about how video games can make you more empathetic. I think that that the idea that video games make people more violent is such a it just makes me so uncomfortable, because it's such a reductive way to look at video games, because all media that doesn't like actually have any experience in video games, the only video games that they know about are Pokemon, maybe Halo and Grand Theft Auto. When there's such a wide spectrum out there, like it's with any underrepresented group, I guess. So yeah, like I think each video game brings something different to my personality, and I honestly wouldn't change change my experience for the world. Like it's such a wonderful thing that I have in my life, and I feel very lucky to be living in a time where and to be born into a family that can afford it, because gaming is not the most affordable hobby. But okay, 30 minutes. That is the longest video I've ever made. I'm so sorry, guys. I am going to cut it off here. Thank you so much for watching if you managed to get through all of this. Really great questions. I don't think I've been, like, I'm so happy that you guys were so responsive to this. Once again, please honor Iwata's memory by playing a video game, for doing something fun for yourself that isn't an adult thing to do. And yeah, like all these questions made me so happy, because I'm really passionate about this kind of stuff, so about art and video games and technology. And yeah, thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Even if you're rewatching this and this isn't the first time you're watching this, I hope that you have a great day every day. Bye.